Okay, so part one of this script was written before the follow-up apology video, and I'll be adding some stuff on about the 3-minute apology video at the very, very end of what I wrote before. Okay, bye for now. Okay, so who had the Ghoul Boys, including Shane, Eat the Rich Madej, betray their core audience by giving it to corporate greed on their 2024 bingo card? Because I just want to talk with my car. Hello, YouTube. It is me, Rosemary Darling, back on my nonsense. And today we're talking about the incredibly turbo bad decision made by Watcher, aka the company started by those funny dudes who jumped ship from BuzzFeed only to become BuzzFeed. If I seem a little bitter, it's because I really liked them up until now, so I feel like I'm going through a breakup, which is, since I've only been in 2 relationships my entire life, is a really uncommon emotion for me. Especially given the first one was, abusive. For those blissfully out of the loop, I'm going to burst your bubble, and I'm sorry that this is how you had to find out that your comfort show became a corporate sellout. Basically, the Watcher Company, because that's all they are now, is a corporate entity, made a very sudden goodbye YouTube video on the 19th of April, 2024. I'm typing this script a day of, but honestly, I don't know when this video is going to come out, so the timestamps are necessary. They announced they would be moving all of their content to their own Watcher website where you can watch all their stuff ad-free for $6 a month. Even their previously free content is being taken off YouTube and put behind a $6 a month paywall, which, may I remind you all, at the time of typing this, we are in a cost of living crisis. I don't know if that's gonna change in like the week or so it takes me to put out this video, but the Watcher Company doing this was just as unexpected, so you never know. Miracles could happen. But yeah, I was shocked when I saw this announcement. Like many other people, I watched them since they were with BuzzFeed and then followed them when they left BuzzFeed. Again, only to become BuzzFeed. So I looked in the comments of the video to see if literally anybody had the same mindset as me, and oh my god, it was fucking everyone. Like, I had to scroll for literally an hour, a whole hour, to find one person who was like, oh, this is such a good idea. I really support this. But while I was down there, I noticed 3 types of comments that were the most common. The common comments, if you will. Type 1 was, I will call them the sentimental. Here's a paragraph explaining how you guys got me through tough times in my life, but I literally cannot afford to support you because I am a broke, disabled college student, or only just one of those. So I'm sad. This feels like a breakup. I'm gonna go eat my weight in ice cream now. I'd say this was like half the comments that were like higher up. A few of them dropped down into the lower end of my wretched scroll. But they all paint a picture of an audience base that does not have the cash for yet another subscription service. Hell, one guy said he had to scramble to find quarters just so he could buy toilet paper yesterday, the day before this video came out. Please, someone Venmo that guy like $5. I'm not even kidding. I will go find him for you. Type 2 was what I call the cynic. Guys, this is a bad fucking idea. I am either a business major, a former Rooster Teeth fan, or just someone with basic pattern recognition. And I can tell you, this is not going to work, and your company is going to explode. Also, fire your finance team because they are doing you dirty. So dirty. These are the types of comments I saw at all levels of scroll. All levels. As a former Rooster Teeth fan myself, well, mostly just Ruby. I didn't really give a shit about their other franchises. I kind of fell under this area. I have 3 Ruby cosplays just gathering dust in my closet. So this was like watching the same car wreck happening again. Depressingly, one commenter in this category pointed out that even if only 5% of their current viewer base gives into the marketing disaster that is this plan, That's 700K to 800K USD every month, meaning the scheme will pay for itself for at least a little bit until they get bored and fuck off. You don't need everyone to bite. Hell, you don't even need half of them to bite. You just need to go whale hunting and get like a small handful. If it's good enough for scummy mobile games, it's good enough for the Ghoul Boys. Sorry, the Watcher Corporation. They're not the Ghoul Boys anymore. Side note, I know that Steven is the CEO, and he's probably the main voice behind this choice, but like, Ryan and Shane could have said no. It's their love child company, and they outnumber Steven. They could have at least pushed for a free with ads tier like Rooster Teeth Wait, never mind. Ignore me. Type 3 was the memer. For a pair of goofy dudes who frequently make jokes about eating the rich, this feels incredibly out of touch. Also, y'all are selling $80 hoodies underneath this video. The Tesla has gone to your heads. These comments were often the funniest, and they'd meme about the situation, and that helped me cope with Watcher's sudden but inevitable betrayal. I cope with pain via memes. I will never stop. You will catch me memeing about my dissolving bones in the retirement home, memeing about the dumb fashion my grandchildren are wearing, memeing about the dumb outfits Margaret down the hall puts on her dog. Just forever. Forever and ever and ever. You will never get me to stop. Like I said, I scrolled for literally hours, and only 2 commenters, 2, said that this was remotely a good idea. One of them, however, was just a dude who was really sick of watching the Watcher videos with his girlfriend and was happy that he was free from Watcher watching duty. So, I don't know if he counts. The other one might have been a plant, and I'm not just saying that because of their opinion. I'm saying that because of their generic bot username, no profile icon, and a complete lack of noticeable history. Point is, we've lost more entertainment to a paywall, including stuff that was previously free with some ads. And for a lot of people, including myself, this was a comfort show, somewhere they'd go when life was kicking them in the soul, so they could forget about their problems for a little bit, calm down, and then go back with a clearer head and be able to take more of life's challenges afterwards. Soon we won't be able to binge watch the older stuff because that'll be gone. All that'll be left is the BuzzFeed compilations, which is deeply ironic. Now, if you just came here for the summary and are about to leave, I hope you thought this was funny. Please give me a like and or a sub on your way out. Have a great rest of your stay and stay sexy. Or cute if you don't want to be sexy. If you're still here for my other thoughts and opinions on the matter, hi! I appreciate you. We are in a friendly parasocial relationship now, and we will go grab soft tacos later. First, as mentioned earlier, I was a fan of Ruby. I mean, I still kind of am in this weird roundabout way, but I haven't actively engaged with the show or the fan base in a hot minute. Because, as we all know, Rooster Teeth not only shit the bed, they pissed in the bed, they set the bed on fire, and then they filled the smoldering remains with spike traps. Most people agreed that at least one of the main causes of this was the Rooster Teeth Company embracing becoming a corporation as opposed to holding on to what made them unique, successful, and lovable in the first place. And, shoving a whole bunch of their shit onto their barely functioning website. Like, holy tits, that thing sucked. I remember trying to watch one of the newer episodes when it became viewable for free users, and it was like I had dunked my internet in molasses. A bit ago now, Rooster Teeth was announced to be officially shutting down completely and utterly. Vamoose, they are gone. The goodwill that their fanbase had for them, dissolved. Their cash, not existent anymore. Their projects, dead in the water unless some miracle comes out of the internet swamp for them. And I don't think that's gonna happen because honestly, not enough people care about them anymore to jump out and save them. And that's what's probably gonna happen to Watcher. Give it a few years. Rooster Teeth started their streaming website journey with 45 million YouTube subs. Well, Watcher only has 3 million. Rooster Teeth had 45 million and they still failed. It's like a good chunk of people on the internet know about how Rooster Teeth fed its own flesh to the wolves. There's a chance that the execs at the Watcher Company might not know, but there's also a chance that they might have. And if they have, and they're still choosing to go down the same path for short-term financial gain, they're idiots. Yeah, I said it. I called the company entity big idiot stinky poo-poo heads. If they don't like it, they can pretend to be normal people for 2 seconds and tell me that themselves. They sold their souls. Metaphorically speaking, maybe literally, I don't know. They didn't realize what we, the audience, loved about their content, which was the personalities and the back and forth between Shane and Ryan. We would have watched their videos if they were recorded on a handheld camcorder with the only pieces of ghost hunting equipment they had being a string with a piece of paper that looks like a ghost and a box that says ghost catching box on the side in crayon. So the fact that they keep citing we need to up our production quality as a reason to alienate a good chunk of their fan base is incredibly out of touch. I saw more than a few commenters going, say psych right now. Say psych right now. Especially the ones in the sentimental category that I mentioned earlier. It was a common sentiment that people hope Watcher will see our outrage and go back on the stinky boo-boo that they did, and that we can all back to having goofy fun times with the Ghoul Boys. But we can't go back to those days anymore because they showed their hand. They showed off the fact that at the end of the day, they're corpo now, and they're proud of it. We can no longer pretend that they're just goofy dudes doing goofy stuff for us to watch. They're a business now, and they made sure that we know it. And that's definitely not what most of us signed up for. Hell, more than a few people pointed out the hypocrisy of Shane's steal from the rich and burn down their mansions jokes now that he's turned class traitor. Like it or not, he either is or desperately wants to be the bourgeoisie. And you can say creative freedom all diddly darn day, but you can grab creative freedom by the short and curlies without becoming a corporate sellout. Hell, I think a lot more of us would have been receptive if there was a way to continue watching the content we love on the new website without having to pay $6 just to see the stuff we've already seen and maybe some newer stuff coming out at a snail's pace. But ooh, we got better cameras and sets now! Which, may I remind you, Netflix is currently $7 monthly, with 50 times more content. Even if most of said content sucks, it exists. And a dropout subscription is either $4 or $5 monthly, depending on if you pay monthly or annually. And that content doesn't suck. In fact, it's quite good. Point is, people are wondering if they floated this idea past anyone who knows anything about business. I am paranoidly checking my mic to make sure it's working. Cut that. Point is, people are wondering if they floated this idea past anyone who knows anything about business and branding, because it sure doesn't feel like it. Even if they backtrack now, which is unlikely because they opened up subscriptions for their sometimes getting flagged by banks as a potential scam website already, we all know that they're totally cool with trying to squeeze blood from a stone. Or money from broke and or disabled college students, as it were. They already showed their hand, and they cannot take that back. I'm used to the people I think are cool sucking total ass, especially when money gets involved. So I have my coping methods ready to go. I watched it happen in real time with Rooster Teeth. I watched it happen with Great British Bake Off losing its coziness. I watched it happen with the VTuber I admired most turning into out to still be a bigoted, horrible piece of shit. But we really fucking suck, especially right now, and that stings. Before you ask which one, you think I want the remaining fans to dox me? Are you insane? No! But as someone who's been burned so many times, it does get better. And time does dull that pain. But by all means, bitch about it, meme about it, cry about it if you have to. There's no shame in that. But there will always be other places to find good content and comfort shows, and at least half of those won't turn into god-awful shitfests. I mean, I would like to consider myself one of those, but I'm not trying to pressure you into following me instead. If you wanna, you wanna. If you don't, you don't. It's fine either way. So the Ghoul Boys sold out, and that sucks. But there will always be other silly nerds doing silly shit. So go find them and support them instead to fill that void. Also, Now that the Goatman Bridge is no longer theirs. Motherfucker, this is my bridge now, and we are going to talk about Drakengard now. And that was the stuff I wrote before the Try Guy couch apology video posted a few days later. While we're back again and having freshly watched the video, I can safely say I don't think what they did was enough to salvage their careers. First of all, one of the points they addressed in the video was, we didn't express enough gratitude towards you all in the video. And I'm sitting here like, honey, not being parasocial enough wasn't the problem we were hooting and hollering over. The problem was you wanted to make yet another subscription service, a platform that is already losing the war to piracy, abandon all your free-to-watch fans, and for what? So Steven could buy more luxury food while the rest of us have to pinch pennies at Aldi's? Ugh. Shit's got me heated. Second, while they did go back on all their old content is going away thing, they tried to gaslight us into thinking they were never gonna take it away? Like, if I wanted to be gaslit, I'd go back to my ex, okay? Also, even though they backtracked on a few things, the fact is, they still showed us their true colors. They lost the trust their brand had built up, and while very few people are beyond redemption, they're gonna have to do a lot more than just not take their ball and go home to get that back. They showed us they were cool with being greedy. They can't put that cat back in the box. That's gonna be on the back of everyone's minds if they keep watching their shit. Third, they again went with this we want to provide better quality content thing, which is like, if they read the comments, they would have seen that's not a thing we give two shits about. They made it seem like it was a thing we gave two shits about, but it's really not. In fact, I think we'd all be happier with crap quality. Give us ghost hunts on a gently used webcam, hot glued to a stick. Or they mentioned being beholden to advertisers and not liking that. While advertisers can sometimes be a bit challenging to work with, I highly doubt the content they wanted to produce would have been so horribly offensive to someone with a sack of cash. Like, if the mansion burning jokes didn't scare away their advertisers, said advertisers that remained would have probably been a bit more on the chill side. So, like, it's probably fine. But they mentioned not wanting to lay off staff. On one hand, layoffs are not great, and people need jobs, especially in expensive areas like LA. On the other hand, do you guys really need anything more than, like, 50 people max? Last I heard, the number of staff they hired had ballooned. And, like, if you're struggling financially, sometimes you need to cut costs. I, for example, am learning to do my own editing because I can't afford to hire an editor. Especially with me trying to save up for my Rosemary 3.0 model, which you should totally stick around to see if you like big titty goth GFs. Just kind of stuck. Yeah. Would I like to give some of my editor friends money to do it for me? Absolutely. But that's not a thing I can do right now. I gotta be reasonable, you know? And then they mentioned that if they stayed solely on YouTube, the Watcher brand would suffer and potentially close. While I agree that putting all your eggs in one basket is not great, starting your own website when bigger people than you have tried and failed is not exactly the sound easy choice you make it sound like.
All current Patreon members will...
Wait, shut the fuck up. Wait. They had a Patreon! And they're still wait, hold up. They had a Patreon, and they're still doing all of this shit? Hold up, how many subs do they have on there? Hit it, shits. According to multiple people in the comment section, they at least have a few thousand subs. That makes all of this even more baffling. They already had another website where people could financially support them and get access to exclusive content for doing so. They already had the thing they wanted. And yet they decided the best thing to do would be career uninstallment.
Patreon members will receive a free subscription code to the platform.
They want their Patreon subs to double dip! But yeah, the point is, they might have read what we were saying, but I don't think they truly comprehended it. Plain and simple, they're just being greedy. if it wasn't obvious before, I feel like the apology kind of made it worse. Like, they did make content more accessible, but with each step they take, they're just trying to emotionally manipulate us into giving them money. And it's disgusting. I refuse to support Watcher anymore. Not until they actually show that they give an actual shit. A great place to start would be to fire Steven. Like, come on, if it's cause you're worried about Steven's content is probably at least 90% of company funds, not having to buy gold-plated steaks and Teslas every 2 weeks will probably save them a small fortune. Until then, this is Rosemary Darling, your good unicorn, and I am not here for this BS. As always, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay sexy, and remember that it will get better. So take care of yourself and others around you so you can all see it. Bye bye. Good night again.